Well, Steph had just mentioned, and one of my questions was going to be about Kellen Rowe. He had to looked like he had to be helped off the field, and he also looked really upset, yelling at somebody. So, and Steph had mentioned possibly they're not, well, he had mentioned the crowd not being appropriate in that moment. So I just wanted to see if you could comment about that and give an update on Rowe.
Well, we won't be able to give an injury update until, Kellen gets back to Seattle. We'll assess what exactly is going on with his knee. It's his knee, Jada, not his ankle. And it was a pretty, sometimes those injuries can look like not a lot, but that's how a lot of ACLs are torn. And I'm not saying that he has a torn ACL. It's too premature, but there could be some significant damage there. I think what Steph was alluding to, because I felt the same way, was as the game progressed and the referee was trying to maintain control, and whether he showed too many yellows, not enough yellows, called enough fouls, didn't call enough fouls, that's irrelevant. Their fans felt that, that the ref wasn't doing a great job, and home fans sometimes do that. Our fans do that as well. And so they felt that Kellen was embellishing some part of his injury. And that's not correct. I remember the same thing happened when Steve Zakawani did his horrific injury in Colorado many, many years ago. There were fans that were taunting him. And it's just not appropriate for any fan base, this one, RSL, our fan base, any fan base, to make light of any player's injury. I just don't believe that that's good sportsmanship. And so I think that's what Steph is alluding to. I'll go back in there and make sure I'm clear on that. But those are some of my feelings about what happened at the end of the game.
Nico Moreno, go ahead.
Brian, I'm just curious about two things. One, your overall take on a game where you created a lot of chances, but RSL also, with changing the point of attack and their firepower, made some significant approaches on goal. And then this whole inability to get a result in RSL since 2011 regular season, does that become mental? Does that become something that you think of a lot, or is it something that one day you're just going to go away?
I'll answer the last one. One day it will go away. It's not going to extend for an indefinite amount of time. Will come a time where we do have a win here. Hopefully it's maybe in the Leagues Cup because we're drawn with them. But let's push that aside. Let's talk about the game a little bit. So I thought we had control of large parts of the game. Obviously, they're a good team, and they had some moments in transition. They were able to, open up as the game opened up. They were able to create some chances. I thought they were dangerous on their set pieces. I think they played for a lot of set pieces, but our, set piece defending was actually pretty good. I think they might have had one opportunity on a set piece that we were concerned about. I think, Nico, for me, it was just our inability to, find the first goal. We had multiple chances in the first half. We created good chances. Very end of the first half, the guy gave it right to Alex Roldan on the top of their penalty box. Normally, those transition moments we're very good at. We make teams pay. Started the second half, we changed our formation a little bit, had Abear and Nico in the pockets, Jordan up front. The first 10, 12 minutes of the second half, I thought we were in absolute control of the game. And our inability to, find the first goal affected their belief that they could stay in the game. And, maybe it did play on, maybe it put added weight on the shoulders of our guys since we haven't won. But in that locker room, you've got some guys that are, pleased with some aspects. A shutout on the road is a very good stat. We won duels. That's two good stats. But I think everybody in that locker room feels that we let some points slip by tonight.
Masvida, go ahead.
Yeah, Brian, probably two things. The inability to score, does that concern you? Or is it that you had the chances and sometimes this is the way it happens in a hostile environment? And then the other one would be the importance of how possession was critical today for your team.
I'm not saying I'm concerned. I thought Bear had a better game than his last outing, so he's coming on. We're going to need him. Jordan up front was fine. I thought that was good. We still have that in our back pocket. As far as the expected goals, I think it was only like 1.9, 1.09, 110, something like that. That's, not bad for a road game, but certainly not good enough by our standards. I think in the second half, the ball that came across where we had three guys, I think Jordan was the closest. Alex pinged the ball in there. I think Jordan's shot from distance. Those are some pretty good moments where normally our guys would put those away. Early in the first half, our movement in the box, we discussed that at halftime, making sure we have enough numbers in the box. So there's plenty of discussion points, Maz, and we'll watch the film and we'll try and work on them prior to the Sporting KC game.
But Brian, having said all that, you're now in first place in the Western Conference.
Well, it still feels like 2 points lost. Plus, we don't like Portland winning, so that's kind of a bummer. It just feels like we had control of the game in certain moments, and those are the games we need to put away. Winning on the road is very difficult in MLS, but this was a game that I felt, and they felt it too. It's not just my opinion. It's the players inside that locker room. I think they felt that they might have let a couple points slip.
Owen Murray, go ahead. And a reminder, if anybody that's like to ask a follow-up, please use the hand raise function. But Owen, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah. How do your instructions change when you're playing that midfield of JP, Nico Rusnak with guys like Chu and Morris wide instead of having a guy like Christian? We have more vertical threats.
Well, we were trying to get both of those two players to be a little bit more vertical, but we always want to find the right balance of possession because Albert and JP are very good possession guys. So, that's always the challenge. Are we a high motor team? I know Nico likes to go. JP and Albert, maybe more possession guys. I think we have to use Leo's speed, Jordan's speed. I think, when the outside backs on either side had yellow cards, we needed to do a better job of really going at them because they were on yellows. It took till the very end of the game to get Pablo Ruiz, who had a yellow card, off the field. So I think we missed there a little bit. But, having Jordan and Leo Chu, together on the field in the widest parts of the field, it puts pressure on teams.
Nico Moreno.
Coach, your first sub in was Dylan Teves. I wanted to get your thought process on that one. And I just wanted to get your take on Nicolas Odero's, work and effort today defensively, trying to keep the shape intact whenever there was transition moments, not just offensively, but that part for him to do that for you, how important it is in a game like this one.
Well, it's important in every game, Nico. Nico Odero's, ability to, defend, to run, to cover ground. We all have seen it. Leo Chu, we had given him instructions to stay wide and try and take the guy on 1v1. I didn't feel that was manifesting itself. I wanted to get some fresh legs on the field. We thought maybe Jordan could go over there with his speed and power to, go up against a smaller opponent, because the right back was not as strong physically as the left back that they played tonight. So it was just a sub to try and, change the game.